Okay, add 13%. So you either multiply by 1.13 to get the answer, or you take your calculator, you put 5,000 Rand in and you go press the plus sign, 13, and the percentage sign, and then you will get your answer. So what's 5,000 Rand plus a 13%?
5,650.
5,000?
650.
Everyone with me so far?
Yes.
All right. So watch what I'm going to do now. I am going to ask her 5 questions. I want you to particularly note how I ask her the 5 questions. So my first question to you is, Jane Ann, how much profit did you make?
650 Rand.
650 Rand.
Yes.
That's my question 1, am I right? My second question is, how long did it take you to make 650 Rand?
1 year.
How many months is that?
12.
How much did you start with?
5,000.
Let me ask you something. A woman like you, what can you do with 650 Rand? That's my 4th question. My 4th question is, if I give you 650 Rand right now in cash notes, what can you do with it?
Not much. Maybe my nails.
Okay, you can go to do your nails.
Yes.
Can you fill a tank of petrol?
No.
Can you buy groceries for the month?
No.
So let me just make sure I understand it. You're going to take your 5,000 bucks, put it in the bank, 13% for the whole year. You wait a whole year, you've got 650 bucks. You can't do much with it. Is that true? So my first question is it worth it? Yes or no? Are you excited about 650 Rand, Jane?
No, not 650 Rand.
Okay. Can I show you something interesting? I'm going to write the 650 Rand profit here. How many days in a year?
365.
So if I want to see how much money I'm making per day, I've got to take my profit of 650 Rand and do what? Divide it by
365.
365 days.
170.
How much am I making per, not the whole amount. You can't take 5,650. Clear your calculator.
Okay.
Only put 650 bucks in your profit.
650 divided by 365.
Yes.
178.
Yeah, 178
Daily.
178
Per
per
per day.
day. That's what you're making.
From 5,000.
From 5,000 Rand. Did you hear what she said? You can't even buy sweets with 1 Rand 78. So here's my question to all of you. If I now say to you, I mean, it's unrealistic. You're not getting 13% in the bank. But that doesn't even matter. If I say to any of you listening to me now, watching me do this, checking out this video, whatever the case might be, give me 5,000 Rand. I will keep that money away from you for 1 whole year. And what you're going to get is 1 Rand 78 a day. What is your response going to be?
Oh,
I'm crazy.
you're playing with me. This man is full of jokes.
Okay? But before I did this exercise, Jane Ann said, I'm happy with my money in the bank. I'm okay. Are you all with me?
Yes.
What you need to understand is some people will be under the impression that their money in the bank or insurance policies is doing okay for them and they're going to be rich. And if you can't show them that that's not the case, they won't realize that they're in financial trouble. And if they don't realize that they're in financial trouble, would they want to learn more?
No.
Would they want to do a course?
No.
So every time you get someone who says to you, I'm happy with my money and property, I'm happy with my money in the bank, or any of that rubbish, I'm happy in my money with policies. You say to the person, okay, what is the percentage return you get? They give you the percentage. You don't even correct them. You then take 5,000 Rand, you calculate their return over 1 year, and you go through your questions. What is your profit? Now, I've said this in training often, I want to repeat it. You ask people, what are your profit? And you shut up. You wait for them to make a brief calculation in their own mind and say, 5,650 minus 5. They must discover the answer by themselves.
Yes.
The biggest mistake you can make is to say to them, look at this, you've made 650 Rand, it took you a whole bloody year, 12 months, you started with 5 grand, you can do nothing with it, and it's not worth it. When you're just telling them that, they're not making a discovery.
Yes.
So my first question is, what is your profit? I wait for that, and I shut up. I wait for that person to give me the profit. Then I say, okay, how long did it take you? And I shut up. It might take them the briefest of time, but they will come back and they'll think about it and they'll suddenly realize, oops, it's a year. Then I say, how much did you start with? Shoo, 5 grand. What can you do with it? Now here, often people will say to me, I can do nothing with it. I won't leave it there. I will insist and say, no, don't tell me you can do nothing. Tell me practically, what would you do? Would you go for dinner? Would you put petrol in your car? Would you buy groceries? Tell me some real life scenarios. And then all I have to do is ask, is it worth it? You'll have some ignorant people who will still at this point say, oh yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, we do have.
So the way to counter that is then you take the profit and the profit amount only, because the capital is money that he had to start with, and you say, let's just take the profit, let's divide it by the days of the year to show you what are you making a day. And there it is, 5 grand, 5,000 Rand is making you 1 Rand 78 cents per day. Can I make it scary for you guys? Just before we end this video, I'll change my color to blue. Let's say I didn't start with 5,000 bucks. I want you to look at the screen. I started with 50,000. So all I'm going to do on my screen is I'm going to add a 0. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, a year later, I will have how much if I add a 0 there? 56,000?
500.
500. So my profit will be how much?
6,500.
So now people are excited, eh? 6,500. So if I take the money away that I started with, I'm left with 1,500 Rand in profit. That's a 5, by the way, it's not an 8. If you just take your profit and divide it by 365 days, who's got a calculator? Let's do that.
17 Rand 80.
17 Rand 80.
So people, are you going to give me 50,000 bucks and make 17 Rand 80 a day?
No.
Are you?
No.
So now I ask my client the question, but you're doing this shit right now. And you're cool with it.
Hardus,
Yes.
correct me. If you're putting in 50,000 rands, then the profit is 6,500 rands.
No. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6,500.
6.5.
Yeah,
Yes.
the way you say it's supposed to be 6,500 divided by 365 days.
You're
Not
absolutely
1,500.
right. It's 6,500 divided by 365.
But still, it's 17,000.
It's still 17 Rand 80 a day.
I said 6,500 divided by 356. It gave me 17,000. By
So
3.
we're going to test it. 6,500. You see that on the calculator? I divided by 365 days. 17 Rand 80. So although I wrote down my profit here incorrectly, I want to show you this, and this is only for the mathematical boffins. So that just to prove that 17 rand 80 is fine. You see there we had 5,000. We made it 50,000 rand by adding a zero. All right. So where it before it was 1 rand 78, because I added a zero, I've got to move my comma to the next block. I've got to move that comma to there, and then I add a zero. So now it is 17 rand 80 a day. Any last questions before I finish the recording on 58 minutes?
Just one question. What if the first 5% of guys that does have knowledge about the stock exchange, how do you handle those guys?
Okay, what you are saying is, what